Hello, welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we are going to be starting the narration and character voice acting for the Act or Die story. So then everybody, welcome to our return trip to Colombia. But this time around, instead of checking out the city of Three Mounts or the Ryan Lab facilities, this time around we're going to be checking out the Arknights version of Hollywood, or as they are calling it, Wrankwood. So, one could say this is gonna be quite the cinema experience, but mixing some theater in there and of course Phantom and Miss Christine, that will also bring us a bit of Crimson Troupe, and we have quite a story to tell. So, all I can say is, just like with a movie, sit back, relax, get yourself some popcorn or whatever other snack you enjoy with a movie, something to drink, and we shall get right to it. But also before we begin, two very important questions to ask here at the beginning. Number one, the most important one, considering this is a very cinema-themed story, how many references are there gonna be to other movies? And I can answer you that in three simple answers. Yes. Yes.
And yes.
Got that? Good. Sorry. But yeah, the other important question to ask here at the beginning is, of course, do you need to know anything before heading into this story? The very short and simple answer is there are two easy to digest information. Well, one is a very easy to digest information piece before getting into this. The other one is a bit tougher to go through because it's a bit of old news kind of thing. But let's go with the tougher one first. So, in-game wise, we have obviously two choices of information for Crimson Troupe stuff, at least, considering this is gonna be quite the focus as well in this story today. Overall, the story is, by the way, very standalone when it comes to it, at least this beginning, but Crimson Troupe does get mentioned quite a lot, so I can only reference and say when you want in-game resources, either reference Phantom, original Phantom, not Phantom Alter, aka Tragodia, original Phantom's file, or of course there is IS2. IS2 is a bit hard to digest, especially if you haven't played it, and it's one of those things you need to piece together the information and get all the endings and cutscenes and everything to get the whole story. I'm sure, if I remember correctly, there were videos out there a couple of years ago where people put together the kind of lore of it, so you might want to look those up. But besides that, there's a very nice and very easily digestible piece of information that was released pretty much over the last couple of weeks and days, essentially. On the official Arknights English webpage, there is a manga, a two-piece manga called Prelude Suit Blood Diamond. Yes, that already is a movie reference, but yeah, anyway. This manga covers pretty much the story of Phantom, how he as a kid became part of the Crimson Troupe, how they were bringing him up, what they were teaching him, how he became infected, how he met Miss Christine. It answers a lot of questions. It also shows us a couple of Crimson Troupe members that we usually don't get to see, and I very highly doubt they're gonna, at any given point, well, outside of one, show up in this story at all. But it is a very nice manga. Both mangas have like, both pieces have like 70 pages roughly. You can crank them out in like 10-15 minutes. Link for the main webpage and the manga will be in the description of the video. I would also recommend the main webpage for Arknights for other mangas as well, because like I mentioned in other stories before, there are mangas that tie in with a lot of stories that I've covered here on the channel. I have in those stories already linked them, but just in general, if you wanna peruse and see other mangas, see a bit more of the Arknights world, I would highly recommend those. I myself have a couple on there that I still need to read through, but yeah, manga for the Crimson Troupe and Phantom would be a high recommendation before continuing with the story. Outside of that, you can just consume the story as is. So far, at least here in part 1, there will be no references to other stories. Could change down the line, as the last story that I covered here on the channel, which is the Masses Travel, has taught me later. There could something pop up later. If there will be, I will obviously warn you guys for spoilers of other stories. But yeah, in general, this is a pretty standalone story by itself. So, let us begin, shall we? So then, in today's first part, we're going to be covering the story from obviously the introductory cutscene all the way to the third battle stage, the entire battle stage this time around. Very quick progress, considering my usual coverage of these stories. This is a bit of a thinner on the cutscene side, but it's very good. It's very good. Trust. Trust it. Despite the fact that it goes fast, trust it. So, let's begin. Our first cutscene is called To Incite a Death. Bow and pay respects to the eagerly awaiting audience. A fine show has already begun. He leaves the bed of withered flowers. They say it is a sign of a bountiful harvest. And so some walked in the embrace of night. Some shared nectar before the bonfire, and some walked hand in hand. Thus together where the story diverged. Shut the lips that sound the horn, he said. Close the eyes about to witness eternity, he said. Incite a young fowl to pick the fruit of pain. Exile an infant to arrive at joyful death. Weeds walk their own path, through tears, falsehoods, and riddles. He leaves the bed of withered flowers. He writes his epitaph into the stirring dust, waiting for the day when he gazes upon it. Does Lady Dupont still shut herself in a room? It's been 3 days and she's hardly touched her food. What shall we do? The way I see it, the madam is fretting over nothing. As heir to the Dupont family, Victoria's most noble lineage, she is both elegant and intelligent, and no one could fault her for choosing any of the 3 suitors. But that's exactly why she's so troubled. The 3 Rockefeller brothers may look like they come from the same handsome mold, but they each have wildly different personalities and occupations. When a wise scholar, a brave soldier, and a romantic poet all ask for your hand at once, can you even imagine choosing which to spend your life with? Besides, whatever choice she makes is bound to bring great pain to the other 2. Why, the very thought! The very thought of the bonuses we'll get when one of those millionaires moves in. Whatever choice she makes, I hope she chooses soon. How could you be so... Cut! Director Quay? Stuff as damned statues. Well, it's just exposition anyway. Might as well cut the scene and add a few symbolic empty shots later. Let's just hope our overzealous producer lady doesn't sweat the small stuff. You two take a break while we make some adjustments to the script. Actually, don't bother coming back for shooting. More adjustments? This guy just can't make up his mind. Shh. Alright people, we're not taking a break just yet, so shut up already. Shut up! Yes, I know we've been shooting for 2 months and everyone's tired and the plate's far from the city center. And there are no casinos or shopping districts here and everything at the self-service bar is undrinkable piss water. But for better or worse, this is our last week. Time is precious and so is my film. The death of Lady Dupont is the kind of historical tragedy they don't make at Wrankwood these days, exploring Columbia's changing times through the lens of a noblewoman's marriage. So I don't want it looking like some cheap cash grab when it finally hits theaters. Let's move on to the next run-through. The Death of Lady Dupont, Balcony Scene 3. Melanie and Michael, you're up. What's the matter, Miss Rutherford? What do you think, boy? Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have made a veteran like you wait a whole minute for me to get ready. Do you think I'm making a big deal out of nothing? Of course not. Alongside Marianne Blake, you used to be one of the greatest actresses in Wrankwood. Seniority, status, etiquette. Hate them as much as you like deep down, but you will respect them on my set. I'm sorry if I offended you, ma'am. So, are we ready? I know it's not easy playing 3 different characters, but don't mix them up like you did last time. You're playing the second Rockefeller, the soldier. You're at Lady DuPont's manor, and have just thrown away your older brother's flowers and torn up your younger brother's love letter. You're rushing into your beloved's bedroom to pour your heart out. Silence, please. Action. Believe me, my love, my 2 brothers could never match my feelings for you. I've heard more than enough honeyed words, Mr. Rockefeller. Were I not the scion of DuPont, were a union to bring the Rockefellers no wealth or status in high society, would you still... You wound me. I'm no schemer, and I mean every word I say. You know I'm not as smart or sensitive as my brothers. How can I hope to move you, if not through the sincerity of my feelings? And how will you prove it? I recently returned from the battlefield, where I brushed shoulders with death. When that shell burst right next to me, when I felt my body and my senses flying away, when I came close to death's door, all I could picture was your face, your smile. You have the next line, ma'am. Despicable. What? What kind of soldier would twist his face up like you did when speaking of the battlefield? You put so much honey in your words, you could stick a fly to the ground with it. I know you spent the last few months making moves on anything even vaguely female on this plate, but for God's sake, keep your private life off the set, boy. Not everyone will fall for a wiggle of your ears and a swoosh of your orange tail like the dumb blonde. Dumb blonde? Marion, what are you doing here? Why wouldn't the costume designer be on set for the run-through? I need to see if the costumes are in order. Or what? Don't tell me you also believe that gossip the rest of the crew's been spreading. Right, of course. There's a problem. Moving on, Michael, your performance needs to fit the character better, or it won't come across as sincere. The second Rockefeller sincerity is the whole point. Without it, how can we possibly convince the audience that this is what pushes Lady DuPont to finally make her decision? You two can take a break while we move on to the next one. Abner? I'm here. We need an evocative transition into the next scene. Gotcha. We'll go with the plan we talked about yesterday. Also, can you stay away from that metal rack? I'm worried the screws will scratch the camera. I can't tell if you're the winner of Wrankwood's Best Cinematography Award or the least professional cameraman in town. Why not both? What happened to you, man? No need to make a fuss of it. As Lady DuPont and the second Rockefeller's conversation fades out, the camera pans away from the balcony. It moves down the steps, across a row of portraits and antique vases, to the front hall draped with red curtains. The front door opens. The sound of wind and rain trespasses into the manor. The camera follows, and a black shadow enters the frame. What the hell's a black shadow? Is it a ghost? A prop? A hallucination? Somebody's freaking pet? Do none of you idiots realize what kind of havoc an animal like this could wreak on a film set? Grab it, Abner! Don't let him mess with the camera rails on the ground! With what hands? Or do you want me to smash the damn camera? It went your way, Marion!
I don't have any free hands either. And are you prepared to take responsibility if the costumes get wrinkled? The producer will have a fit. Someone stop it!
The mysterious and elegant creature darts through the set, weaving between the wires and delicate equipment laid out over the ground. Its two tails moving this way and that as cries are heard up and down the crowd.
Stop painting that background and catch that thing, Tippy! And you there, the prop intern! Her name is Moira. Moira. Forget it, Tippy. You're like way too nice, Molly. You can't let people walk all over you. Who cares? Just catch that thing! It stopped. Well, aren't you a cutie? You're even more mysterious than the monster in that horror flick I saw last night. Mind if I use you as reference for the street scene?
The mysterious and elegant creature settles onto the prop box, looking up at the two girls with what seems to be displeasure. Moira cannot help but bend down and reach out to it, but as she looks into its clear blue eyes, she feels her mind go blank. The next moment, the creature has vanished from the set. Finally.
How could you idiots let it get away from right under your noses?
No, Marion.
I'm the one you're mad at. No need to take it out on the newcomers. If you're going to argue, take it outside, or better yet, off the plate. After all, no one expects professionalism out there.
Greta.
Back to work, people.
I thought you'd be more upset about the shoot being delayed.
I'm not that harsh, Stephen. Besides, her appearance on set means we're in for a wonderful surprise when it's time to shoot.
Her? Wait, you mean that creature?
Who else? She's the companion of a guest of mine, and her showing up means that he's finally made up his mind. He'll play the messenger who appears in the next scene. Isn't that right, Lucian?
As you wish. Miss Christine is free. None may interfere with her intentions or actions. I apologize on her behalf. Hold up, we're making a last-minute cast change, just for some pretty boy no one's heard of.
It's only a minor role, no need to feel threatened, my handsome leading man, Michael.
And it's not out of nowhere, Greta gave me a heads up earlier. Fine.
I'm glad you've made your decision, Lucian. Film is a very different beast from stage, so I understand you needed to take your time thinking it over. But that costume fits you so well. I was right to invite you. I guarantee you'll be the next big thing in Wrankwood.
I can only hope. Well, we're late enough. If the actors are ready, let's get on with the run-through. I take it you've got your lines down, Lucian. I could recite them backwards. Alright then. The death of Lady DePaul, front hall, scene 4, action. As the second Rockefeller pours his heart out to Lady DePaul on the balcony, a young messenger from afar pushes open the front door. Hello. He's welcomed by Lady DePaul's brother, who always seems to have a lot on his mind. Oh, for God's sake. Where's Sir DePaul? Dalton! Where the Hitchcock has he run off to this time? Drinking again? Where's my coordinator? Shelley!
We're here. Thank goodness. I found him. I brought Dalton. I realized he was missing when I took a head count at the waiting area. I searched every food cart, self-service bar, and outdoor rest area, anywhere that might have booze. I finally found him in some bushes by the road.
I've found them. Life.
He said he was looking for the knife prop that the messenger is supposed to kill Sir Dupont with. So which one of you sent a drunk to go hunt down a prop? Where's the prop master, Moira? I don't know.
Fine, whatever, as long as we've got the prop. Costume crew, get his clothes in order. You do remember what you're playing in this scene, right? Of course! Corpse. Nobody does it better!
Pathetic.
What do you say?
I'm sorry, but I simply can't stand people like you. You used to be the darling of Wrankwood when Pioneer films were in their heyday. Producers were queuing up to book you. And now you're just going to let yourself rot like mud in a pit?
What do you know?
I couldn't care less what you've been through, but at least show a shred of self-respect in front of the younger generation. That's one of the rules of Wrankwood too. You're playing opposite a man who's standing in front of the camera for the first time.
Fine. Fine. What's your name? Lucian. You may also call me Phantom. Whatever. Sorry, kid. Didn't know this was your first shoot. But don't worry. You just follow my lead. I can play this role hammered. No problem. I'm gonna try to kill ya to shut you up because of the news you brought. We get to scuffling, then you grab this knife and stab me with it. It's a prop, so the blade just slides into the handle. I got a blood bag in my chest pocket, and it'll pop with just a little pressure. Just don't get stuck on thinking, when am I gonna grab the knife, or you won't get in character. Got it? You read through the letter 3 times now, Sir Dupont. If there's no issue with it, please assemble everyone in the household so I can read it to them. Dalton's eyes meet the young man's, and he swallows the drunken hiccup that had reached the front of his throat. He sees not a rookie actor on a film set for the first time, but a messenger who had come all the way from Victoria, his gaze tired but strong. The studio falls silent. Director Quay has yet to call action, but Dalton can feel his counterpart's focus, and Abner's camera points towards them. He is looking at a natural, and so he takes a deep breath. No, this is an official letter from Victoria's royal house. I can't let you read it aloud. If people were to hear that the Dupont bloodline is all a lie, then my sister's marriage to any of the Rockefellers will be called off. All that wealth, all that money that should have been mine, my very future, all gone in an instant like popping a balloon. Can't you just leave, boy? Pretend you were never here? I'll give you money. I'll give you all the money you want. You have no authority over me. You're just a messenger. What part of this has anything to do with you? The truth. What? True, what happens to this household has nothing to do with me, but I've got something to do with the truth, sir. Even if I turned around and left right now, the truth of the Dupont family will still have kicked open your door forevermore. I have no power to take away your misfortune. All I can do is to announce it's coming, whether you're willing to face it or not. For such, is my wretched fate. Dalton looks into the young man's eyes and sees the deep pain and sorrow within. Suddenly, he feels like he has never been so sober. He does not need to recall his lines. They come to him naturally. Pain, sorrow, laughable. Who do you think you are? Dalton pulls his knife and swings it at the young man. Sir Dupont and the young messenger fight over the deadly weapon. It takes only a moment for it to change hands, their actions as coordinated as if they had rehearsed it 1,000 times. Pain? Sorrow? Laughable! Who do you think you are? I will not let you ruin what should be mine! As I said, sir, my only connection here is to the truth. From the noble halls of Victoria, to the ruins of Gaul, to the Basilica of Laterano, to the coastline of Iberia, I've walked all four corners of Terra, delivering the silent message of death and bearing witness to countless meaningless tragedies. The story of the Duponts is but one of them. And while I have never sought it, the truth always reveals itself before my eyes. Such is my wretched fate. Shut up! Sir Dupont desperately lunges at the young man before him. The face of the messenger has become twisted in the struggle. He notices the young man pause for an instant, then grip the knife again. The point of the knife approaches his chest. This man must have felt the weight of fate, he thinks. A lifeless body falls to the ground. Blood, rose petals, the wind and rain. Cut! Did you get all that, Abner? I think we might be able to use this take as is. Sure did. Is this really this guy's first time on camera, Steven? Greta said he used to be part of a theater troupe. Oh, a stage actor. Honestly, I'm more shocked by Dalton. I haven't seen such a convincing performance from him in ages. Get up, Dalton. We're packing up. But if you want a drink tonight, I'm buying. Dalton? Why isn't he getting up? Check on him, Shelley. It is as if the air has frozen. Dalton lies in front of the steps, not stirring even as Shelley dashes to his side. The blood bag in his suit pocket has already run dry, but blood continues to seep from his chest. Filled with a terrifying thought, Shelley reaches out toward the red liquid on the ground with a trembling hand. It is warm, sticky, and metallic.
This is real blood!
So yeah, that is our initial story setup. Many characters introduced immediately, just like any normal story, and then immediately a death. Usually we wait like at least to the half point of the story or something like that, or to the end. But yeah, we are starting off pretty early with a character death. But yeah, this is our setup. We are on a movie set, on a nomadic plate, and we are filming a movie. Phantom is gonna be also present. And he's gonna be starring in this movie, apparently in a minor role, but he kinda, with his background and theater experience, he kinda overshadows everybody else. And yeah, that is how we're gonna be rolling with this thing. Also, very important here to note, not just the film quotes already, but very importantly, director Steven definitely resembles someone, right? For those of you who do obviously know and keep yourself in the know, Steven definitely looks like he's cosplaying the Administrator from Enfield, right? down to the entire color palette. Even the clothing looks very similar, which is very funny, quite honestly. I would like to, however, point out here as well very quickly, or quick reminder for people who know and for those who don't know, considering Enfield is gonna have a new beta very, very soon, as this video is also going out, and the next videos in this series are gonna be going up on the channel. I myself am just waiting for the full release of Enfield. I will play the game, I am very anticipating of the game and very looking forward to it. However, please do not post any spoilers about Enfield in the chat because of this guy, or because I just mentioned Enfield. I don't know shit, I don't want to know anything. The last time I engaged with any kind of information from that game was a year ago, and I just want to have a clean, nice journey through that game when it actually launches in 1.0, so please, no, don't tell me anything about Enfield later. But I would also like to say here, based on just going back to the design of Steven, of course Steven is gonna have like the color palette, and the yellows are very present in this story as well, which makes sense. This is Colombia, this is a place that is very, very much being influenced by Rhinelab, and this is kind of like a color palette that exists in Rhinelab, of course. And as we already know from in-game stuff, specifically from IS4, Rhinelab will be a big contributor in the, which makes sense of course, in the repair of the gate up in the north, which is gonna be our titular entry point to Talos 2 in the future, as much as we know. But, therefore, having like stuff like, you know, their designs and stuff being carried over and influencing future stuff makes very much sense. But still, outside of that, it's very funny. it's definitely very funny to see a guy in here who definitely resembles someone completely different, who doesn't even exist yet, technically. But yeah, anyway, outside of that, this is our story setup, like I said, so let's proceed with our next section. The next section is a training stage, which does carry some conversation between characters on the stage when you start deploying them and stuff, you know, the usual stuff, but it's more so just a banter between characters on the stage about how to use the equipment and the little gizmos for these battle stages. So I will not be showing or voicing over that, but we will include, of course, the title and the description here. The title being, and it's in French, so I apologize for my bad French, but Entrechet, I think, is how you say it. And it translates to intermission. And it says here, those joining the show, please act to your heart's content. And enrapture yourself in drama. Sure thing. Anyway, we continue on to our first battle stage, which is titled Rehearsal Day. A dagger as heavy as your heart, memories that shall never fade. A fallen corpse. These are all silent invitations. Let's begin.
We've concluded that Dalton's death was an accident. The medical team is taking his body back to central Wrankwood by short-haul transport. There, they'll report the incident to the police. Shelley has double-checked all the props just in case, so let's take a little break to pull ourselves together, and we'll resume shooting in the afternoon.
That soon?
Is that a problem?
Cameras and film can be replaced, but we're talking about a dead man here. We've only just wiped up the blood.
How the hell did he go looking for a prop and end up with a real knife? Did someone trick that washed-up drunk of an actor into looking for a lost prop himself? Or did someone put it in his hands on purpose?
Hey now, let's not get carried away here. Sure, the old man was a drunk and late to the set all the time, but it's not like he had any enemies in the crew. Why would anyone go that far? Besides, it's just an ordinary knife. There are plenty of them lying around in the crew kitchen, in the convenience stores, even our own rooms. Maybe someone just mentioned it in passing to Dalton, and then he,
All I'm saying is that it's suspicious, okay? Then why don't you ask Dalton yourself, Miss Detective? Look, I know you're all shocked at losing a coworker. I feel the same way. But there's
Something even more important we should be worrying about. We don't have much time left for the shoot. I'm sure you haven't forgotten that this studio plate is kept separate from the nomadic city. While it's still controlled by the central command tower, the film crew gets direct authority over certain functions, allowing us to drive it outside of central Wrankwood. And once the lease ends, the studio closes down and the plate returns on its own. But more space means more costs. According to the contract, extending the lease will result in an expensive penalty, which will be reflected in all of your paychecks. As the producer, it's my job to act in everyone's best interests and ensure the film crew can function. I agree. So do I, as both the lead actress and investor. Miss Detective here did remind me, though, that someone must indeed answer for this. Prop master? Yes? It was your responsibility to manage the props, and you've clearly neglected it. Even your intern was on set before you. I'm sorry, ma'am. Apologies won't cut it, darling. You're fired. I suggest looking for a new job before our plate gets too far from the city. And whatever you're about to say, save it. You're getting off easy and you know it. You're in charge of the prop team now, Moira. Me? Or you could leave with your former boss, but I trust you're smarter than that. As for you, Stephen, it's time to get your act together. We both agree that the death of Lady Dupont lacks a strong ending. You were supposed to submit the final script for those scenes last week. The shooting is almost caught up with what's written. I have my hands full directing, okay? This crew doesn't exactly inspire confidence, you know? So you still haven't found the inspiration? Yeah. Is your own original script, darling, your baby? It deserves the very best ending. That's my biggest concern as well. In the end, which of the Rockefeller boys kills Lady Dupont? Where? How? What are her last words? The ending will determine the quality of the whole film. She needs a good, proper death to kickstart the revival of my career in Wrankwood. That's the only reason I've poured my entire fortune into this project. God will come and find me. What? Oh, in literary criticism, we often say that inspiration is like a god descending upon the author, using him as a vessel to write about death and rebirth, destruction and hope. Anyway, don't worry, I'll finish the story. Good. Then you're dismissed, so get to work. Miss Stone. I need to talk to you about something. It's important. I know what you want to say, Shelley, but now's not the time. I have to go and check on Lucian. This is his first film, and his first day on set, and something this serious happens. I can't have him running away on us, now can I? As for whatever you're thinking, you're overthinking it. I'm in charge of the whole prop team? Oh my gosh, congrats, Molly! I mean, it's a shame about Dalton, may he rest in peace, but still, I'm happy for you. I've been working here in Wrankwood for way longer than you, but I'm still stuck doing backgrounds, but just got the chance of a lifetime. Life really is like a box of chocolates, huh? That's because you always put so much of yourself into your work. The art director isn't comfortable letting you handle more. But I'm just a girl from the Pioneer Zone who's good with her hands and came here looking for a job. Can I really do this? If the producer says you can, you can. She's never wrong about people. Your sister will be happy, won't she? You came to Wrankwood because of her, right? You gotta tell her you've been promoted to prop master. I'll call her after we clock out. Miss Stone put her trust in me, so I have to do this right. That's my girl. You're already sounding the part. I bet in just a few days you won't even have the time to watch horror flicks with me anymore. Tippy.
Stop walking in front of me, Shelley.
You already checked the storyboard 3 times and the equipment 5 times. I swore to the producer that I wouldn't lose another set of cameras. Now can you stop glaring at me like that?
Do you think it was really...
What was that? Huh? Speak up!
Do you think Dalton's death was really just an accident? Doesn't it seem strange to you?
Don't know, don't care. I've lost count of how many times I've had to work overtime because that has-been got lost in a beer keg. Good riddance.
He wasn't like that 5 years ago.
No shit! He was at the top of the world, starring in Greta and Steven's next big thing. How could I forget that when we were both there?
That's the weird part. I saw a lot of familiar names on the staff list during the planning meetings, and when I saw your face I got this eerie feeling like
Like we were back 5 years ago witnessing that young actress's death again.
Doesn't it all seem a little... similar?
Oh, so. One was a fall, the other one was a prop mix-up. You're overreacting, Shelley.
I'm telling you, I'm not crazy. And now I remember, Dutton was the one most responsible for the accident. Judgment has come. Someone has come for him.
Just stop already. Stop scratching your arm and stop coming up with this nonsense. I told you, if what happened still bothers you that much, get therapy and stay away from the set. We're just ordinary Joe shooting crappy movies for a living. Nobody gives a flip about us. Shelley? Do you hear me, Shelley?
I hear it. I hear it. Something's coming. Something's coming for us.
Flashback. Picture the position and angle of the stab in your mind. Near the bottom right of the abdomen is a gap between vital organs, rich in blood supply, but not immediately lethal. You can feed off the blood of others and let it herald the climax that is to come. Or you can move the point of the knife up and penetrate the thorax. The lungs are fragile and offer no resistance. Your target will drown in both his own blood and your animated monologue. Raise your dagger, boy. Think back to these segments with rehearsed. You've done well. There is only one step to go. Stab. Let the point of the knife know how it feels to stir the organs and sever blood vessels, and listen to the sound of the heart beating. Are you afraid? How ordinary. He's not afraid. He just doesn't understand. He's not willing to practice stabbing. He hasn't spoken a single word since he took up the dagger. Go prepare for tomorrow's performance. I will instruct him myself. I see. Understood. Do you find the dagger heavy? Yes. But its weight does not come from the metal, nor from the ornaments. It comes from your heart. Do you understand? The boy's hair covers his eyes. He nods in silence. Whiteflower does not realize that you've learned so quickly. You're waiting for her to provide answers she cannot give you. Listen to me, child. The troop leader holds Lucian's little hands in his own. His smile is warm and gentle, but his iron grip permits no refusal. Lucian can feel his stiff fingers begin to relax. Forget the techniques that Whiteflower's been trying to teach you. You have no need to imitate any form or any method of stabbing. There is no dagger without blood on it,
No crossbow that is not fired. Just hold them. They are not props. They will tell you what to desire. Let them guide you. Do not doubt them, even if they point you towards someone you never expected. A friend, a lover, even yourself. Perhaps even me, standing before you now.
You?
Have no hesitation. Stab. Give it a try. Try it. Try it.
Then you and I... what roles are we playing?
If we're forgetting the techniques, then forget the characters and the script as well. They're simply the medium of theater, not theater itself. Lucian grips the knife. The troop leader lets go of his hand and kneels in front of him so that their gazes are almost level.
But we are too close to each other.
Are you afraid you'll hurt me? It's all right, child. Forget even that feeling. You will immerse yourself in theater and touch upon its beauty. Gazing at the troop leader, Lucian finds himself overcome with doubt. Is this really the first time he has seen the man? He does not understand what he is saying. He begins to doubt whether the feline before him even exists at all. Lucian can feel his own heart throbbing. The heartbeat never lies. The heartbeat knows the answer. How should he ask it? The troop leader smiles, encouraging him wordlessly. The answer is obvious. Without hesitation, Lucian thrusts. Did you feel it? Lucian's hands are trembling. He feels them grow weak, almost letting go of the dagger. The troop leader has not moved an inch, not even a flicker of expression. Lucian is certain his knife found its mark in the man's body. He heard a sound, felt a pain that should not have belonged to him, a strong, willful pain. He had been silent since he came to the troop. Now, though, the pain makes him want to sing. This is your first lesson. All stories leave behind only certain emotions. Or... The troop leader pauses. Lucian casts a questioning glance and meets those golden eyes. A bond so tight that it cannot be broken. You're a natural actor. You should study with me. Think about it. Then come and find me. I will never be an obstacle to you, Lucian. Lucian looks down at his hands. The blood on his gloves has been washed away, but he remembers the feeling of taking Dalton's knife out of his hands. Fascination, reverie, the complex emotions he felt when he was taught to use a dagger for the first time. Forget complicated assassination techniques. Ignite the ego with intense emotions, until all that is left is two souls staring at one another. Let life converge upon the knife of truth and falsehood, and bestow upon the target the perfect ending. Death. Come in.
Lucian?
Madam Stone.
You look pale. Are you alright?
Flashback. For our new friends joining us for the first time, if you're here for exquisite Yanese calligraphy or rare Sargonian treasures, I suggest you save yourself some time and leave now. This here is a script auction unique to Wrankwood, where unfinished ideas, drafts, and their associated copyrights are up for sale. As such, unlike traditional auctions, where anything put up must have its authenticity verified, we offer no guarantees as to the value of the items. Whether it has marketing potential or artistic value, whether it'll become Wrankwood's next timeless classic or a forgotten flop, that is for you and you alone to decide. To protect the intellectual property of the items on auction, you are asked to put away your terminals and turn off any recording equipment. And without further ado, allow me to introduce the first item. The Death of Lady Dupaw, a story of love and hatred taking place in Colombia, involving two blue blood families in changing times. Bidding starts at 100,000 gold certificates. 100,000, we have a bid for 100,000 from the gentleman in the back, 150,000 from the pretty lady on my left. Anyone else? 150,000 going once, 150,000 going twice, 600,000. Miss Stone, are you here to ruin my auction? Placing such a high bid for the first item will only make the rest of it seem like an afterthought. I have no interest in slowly inching up the price. I simply bid what it's worth to me. I understand it's your style to gamble lavishly on scripts, but think of your finances. Didn't quite a few of your recent films flop? Are you sure it's wise to spend so much? I can afford your fee. Smack that hammer of yours, old friend. You have a rather talented young man here, and I'm eager to have a conversation with him. Whiskey, please, no ice. Would you like one too, my friend? My doctor has advised me to refrain from drink. That accent... Are you from Sargon? Interesting. That stern, sullen complexion of yours could not be more Victorian. Lucian responding back in Sargonian. I have thread the sands of Sargon. Switching to King's Victorian. But I was indeed born in Victoria. You switch between languages at ease, and your accents are flawless. But from what I can see in your habits, those aren't the only two countries you're familiar with. I've been to Bolivar, Syracuse, Lithanian, Rimbilliton, and now Wrankwood. The entertainment capital of Terra. Pleasant weather and lots of sunshine, the perfect place to shoot movies. So, what brings you here? Research, pleasure, or perhaps you're like everyone else who came to seek fame and glory, most of whom end up on the extras market, fighting over bit roles to make ends meet? I'm looking for someone. I've tracked his shadow across many lands, over the span of many years. Oh, who? I know all the film crews, whether they work downtown or on the nomadic plates. Maybe I could be of help. That won't be necessary. I see, fair enough. What a shame, though. If there's nothing else. My name is Greta Stone. I'm a producer here at Wrankwood. A rather well-known one in the industry, if I might add. I took you for the son of some noble, or a film school student who came to try your luck, and was hoping to invite you to join my film crew. Everyone who comes to the Wrankwood script auction tends to have a passion for artistry, and I must admit you have a rather unique aura about you. I was once an actor for a small theater troupe in Victoria. I knew I was right. You were born for the silver screen. But I suppose it's all moot if you have other business to attend to. I guess I'll be going home empty-handed. Can I see the script? Of course. This rough draft is just the starting line. I'll give it the time, manpower, and money it needs to become a masterpiece
did leave its mark on cinema history. And I guarantee that you'll shine, even with just a minor role in a single scene. I also wouldn't worry about your, little health issues. Wrankwood has special protection in place for infected actors, so long as you pay for proper insurance.
You may call me Lucian, Madam Stone. I will consider your proposal.
Let me apologize again, Lucian. This is your first time working on a film, and you signed the contract after careful consideration. You deserve to experience the joy of cinema I'd promised you. But who could have imagined such a terrible accident happening on your first film shoot in Wrankwood? I'd understand if you need some time to process things. I have Shally reschedule your next scene. But I'm afraid there is no way to cancel your contract and leave the cast now. The plane has already moved beyond the range of short-haul transports and won't return until the lease expires.
I'm not leaving. There is no need to reschedule.
Are you sure? Drama like that could easily affect your performance, let alone your daily life.
I'm no stranger to surprises on the stage.
Performing on stage like you've used to definitely has more unpredictability than in front of a camera. Still, they're just plays.
Plays? Perhaps.
The mysterious and elegant creature once again shows up by Lucian's feet, rubbing herself against the feline's calves, seemingly oblivious to Greta's presence.
Are you sure you don't need rest, Lucian? I wouldn't mind letting you enjoy Miss Christine's company a while longer.
She's looking forward to the next part of the story. As am I.
You're much calmer about this than expected, but I suppose it would be tactless of me to say anything more. Then I'll see you on the set tomorrow.
The mysterious and elegant creature grooms her fur, then gazes at Lucian, as though deep in thought.
Miss Christine?
Her two tails sway freely in the air, drawing blurry shadows. She floats up and orbits Lucian's shoulders, perhaps observing, perhaps savoring. Finally, the beautiful creature sits upon Lucian's knees, placing one paw on his forehead. Lucian feels a comforting warmth.
Tart. Astringent.
Lucian hears a mysterious voice in the empty room. He does not bother looking for its source, instead gazing into Miss Christine's eyes, still as a statue. He knows she's projecting these words into his mind.
Stealth and silence are your ways of avoiding trouble. You rarely talk unless necessary. Do my emotions taste that bad?
It's not a bad flavor. I like trying new things, even if they're not always to my taste. What are you thinking about? That long-winded snake could not have incited such complex emotions.
One of many memories of my life in the troupe. The troop leader saw that I was a fast learner and personally instructed me in the use of weapons. When I held that knife in my hands, I felt exactly the same as I did that day.
Then I understand the spiciness and the sweetness of the aftertaste. The conflicts and struggles you experienced at a troop, those things humans call pain and tragedy, have been transformed into an alluring meal. I like it.
Even after killing him, I've continued to search for him. The remaining troop cultists, these strange rumors in remote villages, and that ostentatious mark. Along the way, I've been trying to verify a hypothesis that has been floating in the back of my mind. That perhaps he has come back to life.
That story that the snake is filming has quite a strange flavor. One that is most addictive.
Thank you for reminding me. While flipping through the script, I saw the twin-face seal of the troupe engraved in the gaps between pages. What seems coincidental for the characters is always deliberate design of the author. Madame Stone, seemingly unrelated to the troupe, has become our guide. Yet I was still not certain. The riddles he left behind are mixed with lies and half-truths, as we know only too well from these past 10 years. That is, until Dalton died by my blade today, and my memories of the past were awakened by the familiar sensation. This is an invitation from him. I think, we've come to the right place, Miss Christine.
Movie references aside, from Tippy, we do get a couple of very interesting flashbacks here. Number one being the very far back flashback of Phantom back in the Crimson Troupe, and here you guys can see why I was mentioning in the beginning that there will be a character from the Crimson Troupe actually shown here, which is the troop leader, and another one that is only mentioned in name, White Flower. In the manga, you can actually get to see White Flower, and well, I will probably, if I don't forget, be using, and you probably already saw her in here as well from the manga pages, so people who only watched this can also get to experience how that character looked at one point. But yeah, this is a very important flashback scene where we get to see a couple of things. That, and also the other thing where we get to see how Phantom gets to be in this story, essentially. Which is a very interesting thing, that this movie script essentially was, number one, was bought by our dear producer Greta here. And also, between the pages was the emblem for the Crimson Troupe, which led Phantom to be part of this production. Very interesting, we'll see where that leads us, right? But anyway, before we continue with our next stage, we do have new enemies to add here. So, we have the audio technician. Yeah, this is gonna be one of those. These are goofy enemies. But yeah, we have the audio technician, and it says, a temporary crew member recruited from a Wrankwood studio plate. It is his first movie, and he is eager to do his job, but he isn't sure why the mic refuses to record. Look man, I don't know that sometimes either. Sometimes I just have white noise on the mic and I have to record half of the stuff again like I just did for this first part. Anyway, we also have the Zealous Extra. An extra holding a clapboard and pretending to be part of the crew. He started the shooting with his clapboard in an attempt to get more screen time. He often improvises in front of the camera, trying to catch people's attention. Good for you, buddy. Anyway, we move on to stage number 2, titled Rehearsing a Tragedy. Look, stepping to the beat of death, they begin walking towards their predestined endings. Let's begin. Forget your poor brother and elope with me, Lady DuPaul.
Come to your senses, Second Rockefeller. You heard the messenger. There is no Lady DuPaul. That nobility, elegance, intelligence, everything you loved about me is but dust in the wind. I am not worthy to be your wife. Not yours, nor your brother's.
I still love you, even without the DuPaul name. It was your brother, the dead man, who had been using you all this time. You're an innocent victim in all of this deception. Don't blame yourself.
But the reception hall is filled with guests, come to pay their respects. The name DuPaul may be an illusion, but it would not be appropriate for me to leave this house right in front of them.
Don't worry, my love. I know a way to leave this matter now and be free of these family conflicts forever.
How?
Have you forgotten? I'm a soldier. Look.
This is...
I made this fire from materials I found in the storage room. It would take us from this balcony across the garden and into the forests behind the manor. Come with me to a place where wealth and status don't matter.
Oh, My dear soldier, your methods are so crude. What if your pulley gets stuck? We will be hanging in the air for hours until someone finds us. Or the rope could snap, sending us plummeting into the forests.
Trust me, it's very safe. I would never let any harm come to you.
Is it? I think I'm going to fall. No!
Hanging wires, pulleys, falling.
Someone just fell! Call the ambulance now! There's blood everywhere. Don't just stand there, Shelly!
She feels a chill run up her spine. She cannot move even her fingers. The sound of fraying cords pulls at her nerves. What on Terra happened? An accident caused by an aging wire rig? And the case is closed just like that? Someone died? No, the two accidents were not alike. Dalton died from a stab wound, while the actress from 5 years ago died from a fall. She hears an ominous sound again. Where is it coming from?
Shelly! Shelly! Get away from there! That container's about to fall!
Fall? Shelly looks up in a daze. The container hanging in mid-air is coming closer and closer, as though she is the one hanging in mid-air, and she's about to fall. As it fills her vision, a shadow appears next to her, and a pair of strong hands grabs her by the shoulder. Shelly feels the world spin. By the time she comes to her senses, she is standing on the other side of the set, safe and sound.
Lucian? Thank you.
You can let go now.
Oh, sorry.
Not you. Moira, yes? You can let go now.
Oh, right.
Only then does Shelly see the small frame of the prop master, grabbing the rope connected to the container with all her might, her arms trembling and her face red. Only when Lucian repeats his words does she slowly release it. You're too on edge.
It's my job as prop master.
What happened?
We should be asking you that. Sure, these containers are getting old and need to be checked to ensure the ropes don't get loose, but are you out of your mind? Not only did you interrupt the shoot by screaming out of nowhere, you didn't even budge when the thing was about to fall on you. What could have spooked you like that? Is this your first time seeing a wire rig or what?
No, seeing Melanie and Michael brought back memories of that fall 5 years ago. Go take a break, Shelly. You're getting in the way of the shooting.
Miss Christine, meanwhile, leaps over a prop box and brushes against Lucian.
No, I mean, I was just spooked by that mysterious black creature running around over there. Sorry, please continue.
Miss Christine unhappily swishes her tails. You know, Shelly's not half bad looking, but she's always so jumpy, and it makes me uneasy. A shame the scene was interrupted. I was just getting into my role.
Getting into your role? You ought to be thanking her for interrupting that take, because I was about to chew your head off. Your delivery, your posture, your expressions. We've been at this for 2 months, and you've shown no sign of improvement. That rookie could act circles around you on his first day in front of a camera. I thought I told you to keep your private life off the set. It would seem Greta was wrong about you. It was a mistake to give the leading role to a pretty boy who gets cast for the color of his ears alone, in 3 different roles in the same film, no less.
You're right.
Huh. What a sudden modesty.
Normally, you'd be coming up with all sorts of flippant excuses by now.
I was just thinking about poor old Dalton. I don't have anywhere near your experience, and Shelley's close call just now has left me a little shaken.
Be professional. Accidents, failures, bad reviews. You'll never make it in Wrankwood if you let little things like that affect you.
I could learn a lot from you in that regard. I heard you were standing right behind Marianne when she swept the Wrankwood Awards with a film completed in just 28 days. And that after coming home empty-handed and being ridiculed by the press, you went back to the set the very same day to continue shooting. I'd have quit ages ago if I had to compete with a superstar like that.
And what's that supposed to mean?
No, I didn't mean it like that. You've just been so calm in the face of Dalton's death, and I want to know your secret. That's all, I swear.
Secret? There's no secret. It's only because I didn't know him that well and had nothing to do with his accident. You, though. Why is his death affecting you so much? Were you involved in it? Could it all be a coincidence? Am I just imagining things? Should I see a psychiatrist?
You shouldn't use Miss Christine as an excuse.
Who's there?
She wasn't where you said she was, and wouldn't have run around in a way that would disturb you.
Please apologize to her on my behalf.
I will. What is it you're so afraid of?
What I'm not afraid of after that accident on set 5 years ago? I know that look. Curiosity. I mean, I can tell you, it's not exactly a secret. You could find out with just a little digging. Her name was Laura. She was a rookie actress in Wrankwood who caught Greta's eye, extremely passionate about her work, but knew nothing about the unspoken rules of the business. Dalton was already an alcoholic at the time, but he was still a big name. He decided to put her in her place by adding extra scenes that kept her in a wire rig for 6-7 hours, until the wires broke, and she fell to her death. The way the blood spread out from under her, it was just like what happened to Dalton.
Lucian looks at Shelley's arm. There are marks of self-harm all over it, signs of the impact the incident has had on her. Shelley pulls down her sleeves, her face filled with anxiety.
But I can take care of my own problems.
You're underestimating those problems. This will only become more frequent. At first, only similar sounds would trigger hallucinations, but now, even the sound of a chair being dragged can take you back into the past.
Gee, thanks for the concern, Dr. Lucian. I've dealt with these wicked voices in my head for 5 years. I know them better than anyone. All I can do is outtrace them, do as much as I can before fear and irrationality take over. Maybe Dalton's death really was just an accident, but either way I have to eliminate any possible risk, any possible threat to prevent that incident 5 years ago from happening all over again. Even if the threat is coming from the film crew itself.
There's something else you're concerned about.
Greta's hiding something. We share an office. I saw a strange document on her desk before the plate left Central Wrankwood. She stopped me when I was about to open it. The reels just keep piling up, but everyone I know who was there back then and went through the same thing would rather not bring it up. No way can we talk about this with each other openly. And now I'm being constantly interrupted by these voices and hallucinations.
Pain can mitigate them.
What did you say?
I said pain. It won't rid you of your anxiety or panic attacks, but it will give you time to breathe,
to do what you really want to do and solve the unsolved mysteries. The voices and shadows hide in tiny corners, impeding and distracting you as you try to find yourself. Pain is one form of resistance, though fingernails alone may not be enough. The tip of a pen or a knife, with the proper application of force, any sharp object can be of help. The tongue, the back of the head, the top of the thigh, those areas are more sensitive to pain.
You're a weird guy. You know that? But you sound like you know what you're talking about with hallucinations. Have you ever had to calm yourself like that? Who are you?
Flashback. Pain is a form of mitigation. Strange whispers, strange sights. Except unlike Shelley, the problem he faces is not the fear of these things, but the desire for them.
Lucian hasn't returned your Reginium photograph yet? Nope. He must be anxious. Didn't Wildflower say he's had trouble sleeping? Too much superficiality in his ecstasy and anguish. He doesn't understand more complex, more extreme emotions. It limits his performances. But he's young. Why the rush? It's been 6 or 7 years since Lucian joined. With his beautiful voice, he was considered a rising star at first, and the leader instructed him personally. But he's hit a wall now that he's finally in a lead role. Listening to those records won't solve anything.
Emotions are an actor's weapons. The first step is to understand them. Master said your ecstasy and anguish are merely superficial, that imitation will only compromise your perception of more complex emotions. But how? Despair, true despair, will cost you what you hold most dear, yet at the same time open a new door. You will listen to the whispers you have never listened to, witness everything you have never witnessed, and understand all the emotions that you never understood. You shall become drama itself, the mirror of all things. Like this! Lucian destroyed his own voice. Originium pours into the wound, and he is inundated in pain and despair.
Blood.
It's alright, Lucian, I'm here. What happened?
So this is...
Did you do this to yourself, Lucian? Do you remember my last performance, or rather assassination? I failed. They called me a pathetic coward. I am no longer a favorite son of the arts. I don't care of being isolated or scorned, because my heart had already left the troupe after that performance. But I stayed, because we came from the same place, because we're friends. You promised you wouldn't be like them.
The master was right.
No. I'm scared of this troupe and of who you are now.
In any case, it will be even more effective than you expect.
I just hope I never need to use that trick of yours.
It is late at night. Muffled sounds and suppressed screams can be heard from the prop room, which should be empty at this hour. In a dark corner, the faceless faces of mannequins are illuminated by flashing lights. Tippy cowers into a sofa, hugging a cushion tightly. The knife-wielding killer laughs maniacally, whose blade is reflecting the bright white lights. In the very next instant...
What a classic. That one's one of my favorites. It may be a small budget production from 30 years ago, but it stands up perfectly well to today's films. Watching horror movies really does help lift off steam. I feel better already. Thanks for the invitation, Tip. Like, doesn't it feel better to just scream it all out? I know you didn't mean to interrupt the shoot. You were just on edge. Yeah, I wouldn't say it solved my issues, but at least I can forget about them for tonight. What are we watching next? I've got everything. Horror Night has just begun. Hey, why so serious, Molly? You didn't like the movie? I was just thinking, that knife looked a little too thin. I think it'd have had more impact with a more intricate design, like blood grooves on the sides of the blade. All work and no play makes Molly a dull girl. Turn off that work brain already. Have you been spending too much time with Shelly? Hey there, mystery lady. What you doing here?
The beautiful creature gets between the two girls, stretches, and sits in front of the sofa.
Clever girl. Looks like she really likes us, Molly. You wanna watch a movie together? But it'll be scary, so don't say I didn't warn you. Whose terminal was that? Molly? Not mine. Sorry, I've got to go. She looked really pale. Do you think Miss Stone is pissed at her about what happened today? Let's try to be there for her tomorrow too. She looks really tired. Yeah. Alright, fasten your seatbelt. It's gonna be a bumpy movie night. This one won Best Design. The background, props, and weapons are all really cool.
The screen lights begin flashing again, immersing the two girls in another horror story. Neither of them notices that Miss Christine is nowhere to be seen. Shelley, I thought you were watching movies with Tip. What's the rush? The overly friendly man notices that Shelley is clutching her terminal in her right hand. Ah, I see. A sudden invitation to a date? Well, try to look so grim when you're there. I'm sure he'd rather see us smile.
It's none of your business.
Your lips are trembling. You're cold. Or maybe afraid. You poor thing. You're still shaken about Dalton's accident, aren't you? Just like me. Don't worry. With you as coordinator, I'm sure everything will go just fine. Come on, let me give you a hug. You could use the warmth.
What do you mean, just like me? I couldn't hear an ounce of fear in that trashy pickup line. Have you completely forgotten what happened 5 years ago? Well, I haven't, because I'm not heartless like you. Don't forget, you're not free from blame for that accident either.
The light abruptly turns on in the office on the second floor. On the desk, the papers are tidily filed away in folders, with hardly any sign of use. On the other, notices are scattered all over, covered in editing marks as though the writer is troubled by something. A tall figure searches around the desks, making not a single sound with his lithe and nimble motions. Here. The shredder has been used recently. Lucian opens the waste bin and picks up several strips of shredded paper that feel different from the others, different from the printing paper normally used by the film crew. Three Mounts University. Environmental Monitoring. Signed, Greta. The unusual document that Shelley mentioned. He feels a slight push on his shoulder, seemingly in affirmation, but there is no one else in the room. Welcome back, Miss Christine. You've been taking more walks lately. Did something here catch your eye?
This place is more interesting than expected.
Indeed. I've discovered something unexpected myself.
Don't overthink this, Shelley. You're only here to see who's playing the sick joke. You saw the number become invalid with your own eyes. It can't be.
Shelley tries her best to calm down. The fear and anxiety she had briefly forgotten while watching the movie now takes over again. Go to the warehouse and atone for your sins. The terminal screen glows in the quiet warehouse, showing the name of the center, a name that is familiar, yet impossible. Laura.
Who's there? Stop playing games. I know I'm not hearing things this time. What the hell do you want from me? What do you know?
There is no answer. The darkness swallows all sound in the old warehouse. She hears the tiny buzzing of electricity. A light suddenly comes on above a distant shelf. As eerie as it is enticing, Shelley cannot help but walk toward it.
Shelley?
Laura? Is that you?
Once again, Shelley starts trembling. She cannot tell if the sound came from deep within the warehouse or from inside her own head. She walks forward in a daze. It is as if she has returned to that set 5 years ago, where the tragedy occurred.
Shelley, I just got another scene and I need the wire rig. Can you prepare it for me?
Arrogant, cocky, proud. How dare you, a fresh face in Wrankwood.
Mr. Dalton said the director signed off on it.
Dalton, still a star at the time, wanted to teach you a lesson, but you thought he was helping you. Are you happy with how it turned out?
Is he not here yet? I've spent hours up in this rig. My knees and elbows are probably bleeding by now. Can you please ask them for me, Shelley?
I'm just a coordinator. All I can do is prepare the equipment and the rig. Make sure they're safe.
Well, did you?
Shelley arrives before the shelf. The light shines upon the black dust bag. She knows what is inside. Don't open it, Shelley. Don't. Inside is an old wire rig. The hook and tether are badly worn, and the harness is frayed. There are dark spots on the black cloth. Laura's blood.
No, you can't possibly know. You're just a hallucination. You can't be alive. Right, pain. I brought a pen. How pathetic. Why are you still there? Why didn't it work? Was the incident 5 years ago an accident? Or a murder? An accident! It was an accident! It was a tragic accident that only happened because Dalton held a grudge against you! Then why didn't you check my rig? Why? Because I hated you! I hated your selflessness and arrogance. I hated that you made a mess out of the shooting schedule and affected everyone with your unreasonable demands. I was happy when Dalton decided to teach you a lesson. I was checking the wire rig as usual and noticed it was due for replacement. Then a little thought crossed my mind. What if an accident happened and you were gone forever? Wouldn't that be even better?
Still in a trance, a hand pushes Shelley over. She hears the sound of coolant flowing through the pipes, and frost cracking beneath her. She realizes that she had stumbled into
the cold storage at the end of the warehouse. But what can she do? Bang on the door? Shout? She has no strength left to struggle. The fear is gone. She feels completely relaxed. Death has answered all her questions. Number 2. Stage number 2 and our second death. They are dropping like flies in this story. But anyway, before we continue with anything here, considering the stage had a very strong focus on self-harm, I do want to point one thing out here very quickly, and that is, look, if you're someone who is under a lot of stress and is, you know, going to these lengths of self-harm and stuff like that, go and contact someone. I'm sure your country, wherever you live, has hotlines for this kind of stuff to call for help or whatever. Don't be afraid to do so, just do it. It will be better for you. Please don't go down these lengths where you're gonna be, you know, injuring yourself or anything similar to that. Please don't let it come to that. Thank you. And apologies for going down a very heavy subject, but considering, you know, what was brought up on this in these two cutscenes, I think this was very important to say. But yeah, anyway, our second death. Shelly is gone. Froze to death. Boy oh boy. So yeah, someone is going definitely around and killing these people, and we'll see where it's gonna lead to, cause right now it definitely seems like it might just be a revenge story for the death of the actress from 5 years ago, but we never know. We never know. We'll see what happens in the rest of the story, right? For now, very interesting. And again, another flashback to the Crimson Troupe days back in the day, and we also get to see Operator Shalem. Yes, that guy is a operator. For those of you who do not know, you can get him for free from IS2. He's a tank, and he is also a former Crimson Troupe member. So yeah, outside of that, we do have, if I'm not mistaken, yep, we have one new enemy, here, and that is the Tired Prop Technician, and it says, the lighting props are too heavy for even this strong Forte prop technician, who has been crushed by the weight of stress and responsibility. He eagerly seeks any opportunity to take a break. I think this guy has to go to the Kulan school of dragging things with a chain. Anyway, we move on to our third and final stage for today, titled Dramatique, and it says, select a suitable crisis and admire the characters as they wallow within. Their restlessness, their desperate struggles. How could you not be fascinated by it? Let's begin.
Shelly is dead.
What?
First Dalton, now Shelly. What's going on here? I said Shelly is dead. What's with that tone? Anyway, thanks for coming to inform us that another accident occurred. We're shocked too. The last person she met before she died was Michael. Don't make baseless accusations, Tip. She was watching movies with you and Moira. I heard all about it. Exactly. She was with us, but left partway through after she got a message. Molly and I didn't ask, and we didn't go with her. But maybe we should have. Which is why we need to find out exactly what happened. So I asked around, and someone saw her with you at the studio near the warehouse.
I just bumped into her. She looked distracted. I thought she must have been feeling guilty about interrupting the shoot, so I offered to comfort her. How was I supposed to know she would take her own life?
Comfort her? In an empty studio? Just the two of you?
Come on, babe. You know you're the only girl for me.
Just shut up already. So, did you really kill Shelly?
2 accidents in as many days?
And not just accidents, fatalities. Of all the film crews in Wrankwood, how'd I end up in this one? Just my rotten luck.
Oh, come on. You blame your luck whenever a can of paint gets spilled, whenever a shadow dashes across the studio door, even when the intercity net has a bad signal. Well, I say this is a big break. Do you even realize how much the tabloids will pay for a first-hand account from a witness? Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and make sure I remember every last detail of Shelley's corpse.
Could you not? And we still have work to do on set.
You go first, Cotton. I have notes to take. Abner said Shelley's been out of sorts for a while now. Did the shock of Dalton's death drive her to suicide? Sounds plausible, but it's not much of a story. If there's more to it than meets the eye, then I wouldn't have to worry about rent for half a year. Why should I be holding up mics just to make ends meet? Huh? Didn't the medic team say she died of hypothermia? Then what's with all these wounds on her left palm? Yikes, that's creepy. Is it some kind of occult ritual?
Not a ritual, but a sign of a struggle against herself.
Struggle? Isn't everyone saying she walked into the cold storage from stress? Could there really be a dark secret to this? Whoa, Lucian, where'd you come from? I didn't hear you at all.
I suggested that she fight her hallucinations with pain. She had been hearing echoes of the past, but wanted to finish her work and bring this movie to a satisfactory conclusion. She wouldn't have taken her own life out of despair. The self-inflicted wounds on her hand are proof of that. This time, however, the pain was not enough for her to escape.
That stubborn, neurotic, and paranoid Shelley actually listened to you? Now that's hard to believe. But it sounds like you knew her well, Lucian.
Not especially.
Are you kidding me? I killed Shelley just because she rejected me. Babe, do you even hear what you're saying? Tip, you said she left because she got a message, right? I noticed her holding her terminal too, so whoever sent that message must have killed her, right?
And you're saying it wasn't you? I'd also like an explanation, Michael. The terminal was damaged by the cold, making it impossible to retrieve the logs, but everyone on the film crew was given the same company issued model. There shouldn't be anyone but crew members on the contact list.
And what's that supposed to prove, Detective? It could have just as well be Greta or Melanie. They sure weren't happy with how she interrupted the shooting that day. Maybe one of them decided to give her a piece of her mind.
Shelley and Greta are glued at the hip when working, giving them plenty of opportunities to deal with anything unexpected. And Melanie is a stickler for the rules and etiquette of the industry. She always respects the crew's schedule and would never disturb a coworker when they're off the clock. The only clue we have is that she was with you right before she died.
Look, I don't know who sent her that message either, okay? I just ran into her at the studio.
At that hour, wouldn't you normally be drinking with the girls from the art team or in Marion's room? Aren't you usually busiest at night? So why did you go back to the filming area, Michael?
Oh, my lonely little birdie. Are you jealous that you haven't had the chance to drink with me yet? Well, you have plenty of chances once you grow up.
So you came to the studio for whatever unknown reason, where you ran into Shelley, who had left the prop room to meet someone else. If all you did was offer a few words of comfort, why won't you give me a straight answer? Did you really have nothing to do with her death?
What, after working every stupid little odd job in Wrankwood, from cleaner to stagehand to set decorator to background painter, now you're playing at being a detective? Or did Shelley become an honorary member of your little sisterhood with Moira after watching a single horror flick together? Give me a break. How many times has she yelled at you for those scribbles you call work? You're hardly friends. I don't see why you're coming after me now. And you think there's a culprit behind every accident? Maybe all those movies have rotted your brain.
In the 2 months I've known Shelley, she's almost never smiled or praised anyone's work. Sure, I got more criticism than anyone. I've had to put in a ton of overtime to make a background we were both happy with. But I've also seen the joy on her face when she was checking the film at the end of each day, and she could catch all the obscure movie references snuck into my backgrounds. If she was in so much pain that freeing herself of it like this seemed like the best option, then I'll just have to accept that. But if someone else was messing with her feelings and taking away her chance to enjoy the movies she loved so much, then I'll never forgive them.
I really did run into Shelley by chance. I went to the studio to, see someone.
See someone? Can anyone corroborate that? It was me. Molly? Michael came to see me last night.
Were you close to her? I simply empathize with her pain. She needed to stay lucid. So did I. A mysterious curse or love turned to hate. Which would sell better? So, where were you last night? The second floor office.
That's where Shelley and Greta keep their important documents. What were you doing there?
Solving a puzzle.
Anyone see you there?
Miss Christine.
I'm supposed to take the word of that creature who's always following you around? She doesn't even talk. Come on, don't look so pissed. I saw you perform opposite Dalton the other day. I know how good an actor you are. You could tell me anything and it's unbelievable. But to tell you the truth, I don't even care how Shelley died, and I wouldn't tell the police even if you were involved. Heck, getting your name in the tabloids might even make the cops less suspicious. Tons of people read them, but no one believes a word they say. So, how about you cooperate a little? What's this puzzle you were solving in the office? Trying to set a trap for Shelley?
You're not worried that a murder occurred on the plate?
Hey, this film crew's got no shortage of grudges and scores to settle. And how else am I supposed to make a living? You think there's any money in being a camera assistant?
Even if the answer might threaten everyone's lives.
Ha! You sure can talk big.
Then I must ask you to keep this a secret.
Of course. The tabloids will pay good money for it. So why would I give away my own golden ticket?
Lucian leans toward the camera assistant and whispers the hidden truth in his ear. The look in the assistant's eyes turns from excitement to terror.
What?
The forter's scream echoes through the warehouse. His notebook and pen fall to the ground. The other staff, still cleaning up the scene, look at the two of them disapprovingly, but only for a moment, until the terrifying message reaches their ears.
A catastrophe is about to hit the plate? Miss Stone, is it true we are heading straight toward a catastrophe? Even if we're outside of town, should we be getting warnings from Wrankwood's intercity net? Why haven't we gotten anything on our terminals?
So all those times I lost signal weren't just my bad luck.
Someone sabotaged our comms!
Enough with the baseless speculation.
Baseless? I found a few strips of paper in your office. When you put them together, they form a catastrophe forecast from 3 Months University. And a storyboard. Signed by you, Greta Stone. What are you planning?
Let me see that. No one told me about any of these new scenes. Aren't I supposed to be the director of photography? And why do we need to set up cameras at the edge of the plate? There aren't any sets out there. Wait, I get it. What for, Greta? You planned all this? Why did you hide it from us?
Calm down, Abner. Maybe she just didn't have time to update you on the new schedule in the chaos following Shelley's death.
You're still defending this lunatic? She wants to get the plate close to a catastrophe to film it, putting all our lives at risk.
The furious cameraman smashes his equipment to the ground.
I've had enough of this shit. I'm leaving this place now.
As impulsive as ever, Abner.
Real persuasive coming from a goddamn lunatic. How much of your own money did you put into this to make up for the box office losses of that movie 5 years ago? You're counting on this one for your comeback after all those failed investments. So if this film flops, are you gonna use Dalton and Shelley's accidents too, the same way you used that girl who fell to her death?
Calm down, Abner. I see you've been closely following my career, but what about yours? How many films have you worked on in the last 3 years? This is the first, isn't it? Sloppy, short-tempered, unprofessional. Camera equipment is expensive. What other film crew would even give you a chance? You wouldn't even make it as a freelance event photographer. You want to leave? Fine by me. I'll even waive a contract penalty for old time's sake. But where do you think you can go, Abner?
Doesn't matter. Worst comes to worst.
What, you leave town? Change jobs? Spare all those poor camera lenses from your abuse? Say whatever you like. Swear as many oaths as you want. If that's really how you feel, why are you even here? So, are you leaving or not?
Abner does not pick up the equipment, nor does he leave. He stands unmoving in silence, caught between his life and his past.
Have you calmed down? Look on the bright side. If you do finish this movie, maybe you'll win a few more awards for best cinematography. Feel free to reject me once the offer starts rolling in.
Dream as big as you want, Greta. I stopped dreaming 5 years ago.
Nah, these last 2 accidents have reminded some of us of the tragedy we've experienced together, and led others to be taken in by half-true rumors. So I'd like to take this chance to lay everything out on the table, for the sake of our cooperation, on the rest of this project. Most of the crew here also worked with me 5 years ago, when an unfortunate accident occurred due to aging equipment. A young actress, Laura, was killed. Feel free to look up the police reports, everything is out in the open. I have nothing to hide. But the only connection that incident has to my decision to film a catastrophe is that it taught me a lesson. What we lack is not skill, it's courage. Of course, by no means have I disregarded your safety. Before I played the part at Central Wrankwood, I visited expert catastrophologists in 3 Mounts University. I obtained a detailed report and tested the data in the plate's navigational system multiple times. The studio plate will keep a safe distance from the catastrophe. Access to the emergency escape plan boats will remain unrestricted. Any staff member who feels their life is in danger may use them at your own discretion. And I will be the last to leave this plate. If there are no further questions, dismissed. Not you. Stay.
Miss Stone. I won't apologize for telling everyone.
No need to be anxious. I just wanted to know how you got the documents.
Like I said, I did it myself.
Don't lie to me. You have no talent for it, and I have no time.
I'm obliged to protect the identity of my informants.
Disturbing the peace of the studio is a violation of the 2nd and 5th clause of your contract. Would you like to see the outcome of that reflected in your bank account?
But there are exceptions made under exceptional circumstances. It was Lucian.
Greta casts her gaze across the crowd and scattered equipment, and sees him standing outside the chaos. The feline receives Greta's cold gaze unperturbed, and gives her a nod.
You said Michael came to see you last night? Yeah. But we kept going after Shelley left, didn't we? We watched a Yanis Jianchi movie next. Oh, wait, come to think of it, you did leave the room for a little while. Michael sent me a message on my terminal. He said he was waiting for me in the studio because he had some important questions. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have left in the middle of our movie night. Please don't be mad. I'm mad, alright? Tippy. I'm mad you didn't ask me to come with you. Huh? What if Michael tried to assault you? That sleazebag wouldn't know morals or self-restraint if they hit him in the face. Or what he was frustrated about the shooting getting interrupted and wanted to take it out on you? You're like a magnet for bullies.
Hey, I don't bully girls.
Yeah, right. You're an asshole even to Marion. Never mind other girls. Even the kids see right through you. I wanted to ask you to come, but he said I had to come alone. I've been in a few film crews. I could guess it was some kind of prank, but I didn't want you to get caught up in it too. Molly. I've been in Wrankwood way longer than you have, and I know way more jobs. Next time you meet someone like that, just tell me, and I'll help you think of a way to get back at them. Alright.
Well, what now, detective? With Moira's testimony, can I take it I've been cleared of suspicion?
Maybe it really was a coincidence that he ran into Shelley. We saw how she was when she left last night.
Like she wasn't all there, right?
Yeah, maybe she was at her limit. But,
Thank you for testifying on my behalf, Moira. I know it took courage. After all, Tip might be even more protective of you than your actual sister. Speaking of which, is she still working as an actress? If she's as cute as you, do you think you could give me her number? Maybe I could help her land a role or two.
Seriously? Even after getting accused of murder?
Come on, babe, I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
Whatever, don't change the subject. You still haven't told me why you were looking for Moira. Yeah, I wanna know too. I think they deserve to know, Michael.
Moira, don't...
He asked me if there was a way to sneak off the plate.
I really like how this story is set up. All the diverse characters, the cutthroaty stuff, yeah, this feels... this definitely feels movie business. This definitely feels movie business, but yeah, here we see the usual, the everyday stuff that is obviously something that we do very well know exists in real life as well. How people exploit another person's death, or how they're thinking about how they can profit from some kind of tragedy that has befallen another. And we see it in that random Forte guy who was noting down just information that he was finding around the place, and you know, wants to sell it to the tabloids once the plate gets reattached back to the rest of Wrankwood. So yeah, this definitely feels very real in some aspects. But yeah, this is a story, alright. And all I can say for now is I do like it. Very fast going. I don't know if it's gonna slow down or if the cutscenes are gonna become like much meatier when we get to like stage 4 and further on. But we'll see that next time. An important thing that I think I forgot to say in the intro, especially because I had to re-record the intro, so I probably forgot to say it in the intro. But please do note here that when you're leaving comments down in the comment section below about the episodes or the story in general, please do not spoil anything that is beyond the point of where we are right now with the story, because I myself only know with the episodes as far as, well, you're watching right now, and you're gonna be watching later in the future, but just in general for people who are watching this on YouTube, don't spoil it for them. And yeah, don't spoil it for me as well, of course. And of course the whole thing of do not, you know, wink wink nudge nudge at me about, hey, cannot wait for you to see this and that scene, considering I leave always the clip section in the final bit of the of the episodes. You'll get your reactions. Just leave me be to discover the story as usual, and we will be best buds. But yeah, thank you very much in advance. But yeah, fun story, interesting story, very dramatic, and we'll see next time how it's gonna continue. But before I leave you guys off, there is one new member here, or I keep saying member. They are members of the crew, I guess, but you know. One new enemy here to introduce, which is the Uneasy Designer. A designer who has missed his deadline. He flees when he finds that he has accidentally entered the shot. He runs fast. But yeah, that will be all for today's part. So, next time we'll continue and see where the story is gonna take us and what else happens. For now, I don't really know who the killer could be here. Like, my only logical kind of way of thinking would be that it's the producer, Greta, because maybe she had a very strong tie to Laura in the past, but I don't know. I don't know if it could be her or if it could be someone else that we haven't seen yet. Maybe it's someone who doesn't appear to be it, or I don't know. Could be almost anybody, but we'll see. But we'll see next time, if it's gonna be shown next time. Also, very interesting that our dear playboy, Mr. Good-looking catboy actor Michael is trying to leave the place and is trying to run away. Then there is the looming threat of the catastrophe, which again Greta says that they will not run into the catastrophe. She just wants it as a backdrop shot, I guess. Which, good lord, you're putting a lot of lives in danger just to make the movie more impactful, right? But oh boy, we'll see. Great story so far. Oh, and yeah, I did say at the beginning that I'm gonna say here at the end what the story kind of reminds me of. At least the setup of the story, with how the characters got introduced at the start, and then immediately the first death, now we have a second death, someone in the shadows working. This just reminds me of Detective Conan. For those of you who have watched Detective Conan, or Case Closed, as it's called, this is pretty much the same setup, isn't it? The only thing missing right now in this story is a tiny little boy with a red tie around his neck that changes his voice, and a watch that can tranquilize someone. Oh yeah, and sneakers that can shoot, that can kick a ball with the force of a cannon. Oh god, this really is just a Detective Conan episode, and you know what? I'm all for it. I am all for it. I love this shit. But yeah, we'll see next time how this is gonna continue, so thank you very much for watching and listening. Enjoy the clip section after this, and as always, thank you very much. And if you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving a like. It would help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and if you wanna, and especially subscribe if you wanna listen to pretty much anything Arknights related on the channel. I have pretty much everything covered up until this very new story, so type the name in and you will find it, and some stuff is already in the description anyway. And yeah, of course, if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open on the channel. No video will be behind a membership. It's purely there for support. So thank you very much to all the members who are already doing so. Much appreciated. And yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye. Why does he look so much like the end administrator from Enfield? This gray coat and the coloring is literally, I know this is no correlation, but design choice wise, this is peak. Steven! His fucking name is Steven! No! No! It's a young Steven Spielberg. Oh no! Unless there's another Steven among directors that I'm not familiar with, but whatever. Oh no. Oh, this is gonna be full of absolute peak references, isn't it? Everything you can cram into a story. Oh god. I'm definitely not gonna recognize every single one, but that's gonna be funny as fuck. I know it's not easy playing 3 different characters. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. No, this is gonna make me feel so called out. No, shut up. This story is gonna make me feel so self-conscious. I hate it. No, why did you have to say the line of 3 different characters? Fuck you. And it's not just 3. Who the fuck knows how many it's gonna be? Steven! Holy setup. I love it. This is actually This is very funny. They definitely looked into a lot of real world setups with cameras, and I keep forgetting what they're called exactly. But yeah, this is definitely based on on an actual thing. As weird as this looks, this is actually based on some real camera work shit. The camera follows and a black shadow enters the frame. Oh yes, they're actually using cat sounds. I love it. I know. This precious little feline is voiced by actual cats. I know that. I was just wondering if they're actually gonna be using like cat sounds like they did back with the Monster Hunter collab for whenever she's on screen. Hell yeah. That actually helps if they're gonna have a voice effect. I wonder if they're gonna have a voice effect for her for every single time she meows on screen. If not, I might gonna have to go into her voice lines, record everything, and just use bits and pieces as audio. That also works.
Well, aren't you a cutie? You're even more mysterious than the monster in that horror flick I saw last night. Mind if I use you as reference for the street scene?
That is an annoyed look. I love it. Oh yes, she's expressive. I love it. I love it. I love it. Where the? No. Steven, I'm gonna call you from now on Nightingale. This is getting ridiculous. If you're gonna use other authors or directors, I'm gonna call you Nightingale. I don't give a shit. What is this, Alan Wake 1? Fucking... Hey, H.P. Lovecraft fires a fucking gun at Alan Wake and another civilian. Jesus fucking Christ, Nightingale, what a Chad. What a fucking idiot, but also a Chad. Oh my god. Anyway. There's so many characters already. Oh my god, we just started. I have a list of fucking 50 characters already. What the fuck? Shelly? Who the fuck is the guy next to you as well? Fine, whatever. As long as we've got the prop. Is it the prop? Is it the prop though? I feel like someone's about to die. This feels like a Detective Conan setup. This right now feels like a Detective Conan setup. We've met all the characters, all the potential suspects, and someone's about to die, and then some tiny little kid with giant glasses and a tranquilizer wristwatch is gonna come in to solve the case. Oh shit, actually a CG? What the hell? But if you want a drink tonight, I'm buying. Oh no, he's dead. Oh no, is he dead? Was I right? Was I right? Oh no. Fuck.
Dalton?
Oh, he's actually dead. Oh my god. Oh fuck. Oh fuck, he's actually dead. Oh my god. Oh no. How did I? Oh god, this is a Detective Conan episode. Oh no. Okay. Oh my gosh, congrats. Oh god, no, she's an internet zoomer. Oh, this slang is gonna kill me. This slang is gonna kill me. Oh god. You know, now that I look a bit closer at her, she kind of looks like she's a VTuber. She kind of looks like she's a VTuber model. Oh no.
But I'm still stuck doing backgrounds. Well, you just got the chance of a lifetime. Life really is like a box of chocolate.
No! No! I'm gonna be screaming about these references, aren't I?
Like we were back 5 years ago, witnessing that young actress's death again.
Oh, interesting. This could be... Ah, this could pan out to be like a revenge story, huh? Hey! There he is. There's Shalem, aka Abyss. Or work on... No, another one. All work and no play makes Molly a dull girl. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, Hemingway, you hack. Or sorry, to paraphrase a bit of Bricky. Lowlight, you hack. How many references are we gonna have in this thing? Is this Alan Wake? Are you Sam Lake in disguise? Good lord. The beautiful creature gets between the two girls, stretches, and sits in front of the sofa. Clever girl, shut up! Shut up! Not two in a row! Shut up! Lowlight, you hack! It's fuck's sake. I don't know. Actually, I don't know who wrote the story. I don't know who wrote the story over in Hypergriff HQ, but he's the one I know by name, so he gets called out for this shit. It's motherfucker. Also, just to emphasize, I'm not calling him a hack. As a derivative, I'm not calling him a hack as a bad word. This is just for shits and giggles. Because of the stupid amount of stupid references so far. Oh no. This is gonna be one hell of a story until the freaking end. I should have started counting. I'm not counting again, but I should have started counting immediately. The moment the first one popped up, I really should have. I don't even know how far I am right now. 5, 6 at this point? Whatever. Death has answered all her questions. Holy fuck, they're dropping like flies. Holy fuck, the characters in this story are dropping like flies. What the shit? Whoa. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and make sure I remember every last detail of Shelly's corpse. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. This really is cutthroat Hollywood, huh? Damn. Oh, my lovely little birdie. Are you jealous that you haven't had the chance to drink with me yet? Well, you'll have plenty of chances once you grow up. God, that hit me. Oh, that hit me like a bad aftertaste after the sentence. Oh, no. Oh, go and eat a dick. Oh, go and walk into a fucking freezer yourself, you. Oh, fuck, no, this guy's disgusting. Oh, oof. Shake this shit off. Oh, God. What the Ford? Fuck off. Fuck off right now. This is getting stupid. This is... Lowlight, you hack! Stop!